Hi, it's Lipstick Gal. Thanks so much for watching today. I am delighted to be trying the new Cosmetics eyeshadow palette in Saturn's Return. Look at this. Cool toned eyeshadows. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm gonna do as much Cosmetics as I can today. I already have some things on my face, but I have a lot of other things that I'm gonna use to build this look, and I'll just link everything for you in the description bar down below. But here's where I tell you, I've been a huge fan of the brand for the longest time. Really for the longest time, and they make the sort of products I want to use every day because they're easy, they're not too much, they're just enough, and I like that they're not forever like new release like 3 times a week. And I know that's an exaggeration, but sometimes that's how it feels to me. This eyeshadow palette has 3 mattes and 3 metallics. I'm going to start with this kind of light brown shade here. I'm going to take this and just put it right here in the crease. Okay, so I know there's a huge, I don't know if it's really a trend. I mean, I don't know, but I'm seeing a lot of cool toned eyeshadows. I think we've been seeing cool toned eyeshadows for a while. If you think back to the Natasha Denona Glam palette, I think that was a really interesting departure from a lot of warm toned eyeshadows. I have really been loving cool toned eyeshadows in the past, I don't know, year and a half. It really has been kind of exactly what I've been wanting, where I felt like things got really warm in the late 20 teens and I was wanting things to cool down. And as we hit 2020, I felt like we started seeing a little bit more cooler things, but definitely by end of 2021, we were seeing more cool toned eyeshadows, and definitely last year, and I really like that. And I feel like right now with the new Xenon palette from Natasha Denona, as well as the Pretty Grunge from Huda Beauty, I feel like there's a little bit more of that out there. And I love cool toned eyeshadows, but because I'm a really fair person, I wear the lightest shade of the Cosmetics Cushion Foundation. I wear the lightest shade in a lot of foundations, or the second lightest shade. I find that sometimes cool toned eyeshadows that are too saturated on my fair skin, I just look like a crazy person. I have entered clown territory, and I need things that are desaturated, things that aren't quite as punchy tone wise, which is why this color story here is perfect for me. If you like a softer, slightly cool toned look, you might like this as well. But I've always been a huge fan of smaller palettes. I love the quality of the shadows. This, I think, does this make 5? I think this is my 5th one. The only one I don't have is Faded Clementine, and that's because I'm not much of an orange eyeshadow and cranberry eyeshadow person. And although it is lovely, they're not the colors I would be reaching for. I could see myself reaching for just this shade, but this is a sort of shade that I think, you know, on a day when I want a little bit of dimension on my eye, but I don't want too much going on, this would be the perfect, you know, just a little bit of shadow in the crease without it looking like too much. That's what I really like about products. They're super easy, and you don't have to use all 6 shades in the palette. I mean, you can, but I like that it's a little bit more edited, and that I feel like for me, it's just enough. I'm gonna reach right here into this lighter matte taupe shade. I'm gonna put a little bit of this like on the outside third of my lid. I love how easy these are to apply, and I like how they don't require a lot of blending. I've always liked the shadow formula from and I feel like the mattes I'm always losing my mind over anything that's sparkly, and I really do like their metallic formula, but truthfully, I never give their mattes enough credit. They're beautiful, and they take no effort at all to apply. So just to make sure this is as soft as possible, I'm gonna use my color switch to just knock off the bulk of what's on here, and then I'm just gonna kind of blend here. I wanna make sure this is kind of like a really soft look, so I'm not adding any more color. I'm just taking a minute to kind of soften the edge. I'm gonna go in for this deepest shade here. I don't want a lot of it. It is very pigmented, and I want just a little bit more depth right here in the outer corner. I don't want it to be too much. I feel like I might have already gotten a little bit more than I was intending to. I was hoping for something a little bit softer, but I'll blend. These blend beautifully. I'm going to use this metallic taupe on the bulk of my center lid. Oh, that's That's so pretty. What I love so much about these 6-pan palettes is that it's really easy to choose, like, okay, I'm doing a 2 shadow look, or I'm doing a 1 shadow look, or you know what, I'm only going to use like the cooler taupey tones like this one and these two, or I'm going to go for a little bit lighter, the ones that are leaning just a little bit more on the gold side of this shadow palette. And I love that M has that in there. I feel like they're very carefully put together color stories so that you can use all of them or just a handful and still get a really beautiful and pulled together look. The other thing is I like that these shadows do not add any additional texture to my lid. I do have more mature lids, and I'm coming up on my 49th birthday, and I never feel like these metallics, even though I'm continuing to layer it on here, ever make my eyelid look craggly or dry or like lizard skin. And that's really what I want. I want something that is going to be beautiful and look effortless. And that's what I get from these every single time I apply them. I really like where we're at right now. I'm going to take this lightest shade here, and I'm kind of curious, is this better if maybe I need this on my finger, and just like on the inside, and then tapping it over that metallic taupe shade to kind of marry it together. And just because I want to use them all, I'm going to use this shade right here on my lower lash line. Okay, I really love where this ended up. But obviously I need some eyeliner, I need some mascara. I'm also going to take a minute to put on some blush, some bronzer, some highlight, you know, lips, all the rest. I'm going to finish it up and I'll be right back. We'll talk about some swatches. Like the way this look turned out. I think it's really pretty. I am wearing a full face of M. Everything that I have from him, like I pulled all of my things out, my brows, my eyeliner, my mascara, you know, contour, blush, highlight, lip products, you name it, I'm wearing it. Even their foundation today. So if you want to see like my full M playlist, I'll link it for you in the description box down below. But let's take a look at these swatches. Aren't these so pretty? I thought this one was a matte, but it looks like it's kind of a satin, doesn't it? Has a little bit of a, it's not really a sparkle because these guys look a little bit more matte, and this has a little bit of subtle reflectivity to it. This is Omen, Lightyear, Saturn, Karma, Titan, and Kronos. Oh, so pretty. Like this one right here, this is the only one that I had any fallout with. I didn't have any fallout with this darker shade in Omen or this one here in Kronos. I was worried that these kind of darker taupey shades, they didn't give me any problem. I had very minimal sparkle fallout from the lightest shade in there, and it was really easy to just take a, you know, a clean brush and just kind of flick it away. No problem at all. I don't find that these necessarily need an eyeshadow primer. I'm not wearing one today, but there's always inevitably just a little bit of concealer that gets like right here in the corner and ends up right here. So I just kind of tap it out, set it with powder, and that's how I kind of take care of my eyelid. But when I do use an eyeshadow primer, these still go on beautifully and they wear fantastic. I don't find that the Divine Skies eyeshadow formula ever fades on me during the day, or like does a disappearing act or settles into the crease, but I don't have particularly oily eyelids. And I find as long as I don't have any skincare on my eyelids, I'm usually good to go without a primer. But if you definitely use a primer every day, these work really well with them. If you're curious, each one of these Divine Skies eyeshadow palettes is $42. Each of the 6 pans, I'm looking on the back, it says that each of the pans is 1.5 grams or 0.05 ounces per pan. That's actually a really nice size. I feel like it's just enough. It's not too much. You're not going to burn through it too quickly. But I also feel like, you know, they're fairly pigmented. The reason I really am enjoying this is the fact that it's a little bit desaturated. that we're getting some really pretty taupe tones like this one right here and this one. They're beautiful. That we have kind of like this slightly warmer mid-tone, maybe, well, for me, mid-tone brown, maybe really light brown for other people, but it does have the ability to build depth. And that's what's really great is we get something that's really bright and shiny. The metallics are beautiful, but there is depth and range to this. So it doesn't have to be as soft an eye look as I have on going now. You certainly can build it. It can get there. But for me, I am less likely to pick up the new grunge palette from Huda Beauty or the Xenon palette from Natasha Denona because those are just, they're just so dark. And on someone like me who, you know, bold colors in my eyes is outside of my comfort zone, this definitely sits more in exactly the sort of cool eyeshadow look I love to wear. And the fact that it's minimal shades instead of having 15 shades in there or 18 shades in there like those other larger palettes, this only has 6. Exactly what I want. And it has a full range of tones. I feel we go from really dark and really light to beautiful shades in the middle, and you can use one or more and still get an elegant, beautiful look. I really feel like this is a great addition to your eyeshadow collection if you love cool tone shadows, but just remember that it's not as saturated as some of those other really cool, dark and smoky eye palettes that are out there. Thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget, I'm going to link my entire M Cosmetics playlist in the description box, and you can hear me talk about every single one of the products I have tried from them, and I've tried all of their cosmetic products. Really, really love the brand. They make the sort of makeup that's easy to wear, that's kind of like my easy daily go-to. Like I reach for the lip products all the time. These blushes, I'm obsessed with these new blushes, but I find that when there is something that they make that just really like checks all the boxes for me, I just can't stop. Like I'm forever wearing the brow products. Love, love, love. So let me know what your favorite is, or if you want to get a perspective on what maybe might be something you would appreciate, check out the playlist down below. But let me know what your favorite is from M, and if you're not somebody who's ever tried it, what's holding you back? Thanks so much for watching today. Have an incredible day, and I will see you again soon.